my pistol, so.
Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl, to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It is episode 4, I believe. And let's get right to it. I took a lot of notes. It looks like next episode is going to be Kenya's last episode. So I don't know what we're going to do after that, how we're going to do it. I still want to review the show. I still want, because I think I really want the friendship piece with Porsha and Shamia. That's really, after Kenya is gone, that's the only storyline that I'm really concerned with. I don't care about Brioche's storyline. I don't care about Angela Oakley's pothole filled storyline. I don't really care about Drew and Dennis storyline. I don't care about that storyline. Porsha and her divorce. I don't care about that. The Porsha and Shamia's storyline, baby. I don't care about that. I want to see Porsha and Shamia. That's the storyline that I'm focused on. I don't care about anything else. So we're going to continue to review the show, and we'll mostly focus on those. And if any of the outside or the outliers that come regarding Shamia and Porsha, if that includes those women in that, then we'll talk about that. But everything else, I like the storyline with Drew, Porsha, and Dennis. I honestly believe it's like, let's just act like I have a problem with it and we can kind of make a storyline out of it. So I'm not going to get all like, it's really hard to have discussions when we know that the storylines aren't real. It's just because, like, why are we having a real reaction, a real response, real commentary off of something that isn't real? And that's one of the reasons why I don't really care about reviewing scripted shows, because it's weird to have to me, it's weird to have, I don't know, we could have dialogue and commentary, not dialogue, but have commentary about like what was the themes that are presented to us in a scripted show, but we could do that here for reality. It's like the same thing. So I'd rather do it in a reality setting than knowing that these people are acting these emotions, right? They're not really feeling these emotions. I mean, some actors do feel their emotions that they're acting, but overall, that's why. So that's how I figure I'm going to do with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not interested in Brielle at all. I'm not interested in her. So we'll go through this. Angela and Brielle, they're at the park. Angela talks about sharing marital issues with her family. She told her mom something about Charles, and now her and Charles have a rocky relationship. Her mother and Charles. Brighton tells us about her dad and how he had a blood clot and he died. Angela is having an event. Shamia she wants to hash it out with Shamia and move forward because, they just got into it at the Balmain event. Kenya is snooty and it's hard to not have preconceived notions. Next time I'm going to say something. That's what Brioche said about Kenya. She wants a problem with Kenya. And I think I don't think, even if you don't like Kenya, you can't deny that this person is intentionally trying to create a problem with her. I don't care if you don't like Kenya. Like, you cannot, like, if you're going to deny what we're seeing here, then I know that something is not right with you. Because that's exactly what's happening. A fan comes off of their couch into our television, and she has a problem. She's had a problem since she's been on the couch. She's had a problem with Kenya. And now that you're in her proximity, you want her to hug you. She wants her to, and then when Kenya hugs her later, they both pat each other on the back. And then she says, that was a pat. It wasn't, like, what do you want her to do? Dip you and kiss you in the mouth with tongue? Like, I don't understand. And I think it's really weird. And I don't know if she was being pushed to do it, But somebody should have pulled her to the side and say, listen, the conflict that you have with Kenya, it should be authentic. This is not like her producer should have came to her and said, don't do it like this. This is not coming off authentic. Like, you want to go after Kenya, but it doesn't make sense. Let it have a natural conflict with her. You're creating conflict where it doesn't need to be there. And you spitting over little spitballs, and she's going to come back and show how well you suck dick. She's going to show everybody how well you gobble balls in your throat, and you're not going to like it. So leave her alone unless you have a legitimate reason, because Kenya is going to take it to hell. Whatever she can find out about you, she's going to bring it. Leave her alone unless you have a legitimate reason. Her not hugging you the way you want her to hug you, her not greeting you in the way you want to be greeted when it wasn't rude, you reading a miscommunication as her trying to shade you. You are literally hyping yourself up to have a problem, even to the point where her crooked mouth man said, you're doing too fucking much. And I'm trying to figure out, I do understand, and I'm just going to accept it as a truth, that Truly Original, the producers that are producing the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they don't like Kenya Moore. They don't like her. And so I feel like it's best that Kenya bow out of ever working with Truly Original. Maintain your relationship with NBC and Bravo, but fuck them people at Truly Original on some real shit. Because the way they did this and stopped production on her after this woman mentions a firearm twice, not once, but twice. I got my pistol and I got whips and pistols. She said it twice. And now Kenya called you a peasant, but this is after realizing that you want a moment. So Angela's going to have this party, all black attire at a bank vault, just to have a get together with the girls. Shamia shares her single with her sister. She shares with us that she was in a music group with Carrie Hilson, but she never had her shot. She wants to play her new single for the girls. She says, but if I was Angela, I wouldn't have invited me. I would have moved. I would have moonwalked. So I don't know if every time Shamia mentions Angela in her confessional, she's going to make a Michael Jackson reference. She did it twice. She says, I would moonwalk out of there. Your nose is mine. That's what she said. Your nose is mine. I don't, and then later she said something about beat it later. So I don't know. So she's still throwing shade in the confessionals, but saying, to her sister that she wants to mend the relationship, and I wouldn't have invited me if I was me. She says, she accused me of going hard for Porsha because she was going hard for Drew. And she was saying, why can't I go hard for Drew and you go hard for Porsha? And she says, I don't go hard for Porsha. I've done that for years. You do go hard for Porsha. And you go so hard for Porsha, and everybody can see that she doesn't do it in return. And it's almost like she has something. It's something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We hate to say that somebody is jealous of somebody, but I feel like Porsha was that girl. Like, Shamia had all these things, and Porsha was that girl who hung around with Shamia. And Shamia had that upper middle class lifestyle, and Porsha probably had a middle class lifestyle. And she didn't have her dad there. Maybe Shamia had her dad there. You understand what I'm saying? Shamia had things given to her. Shamia was always, in the cheerleading and doing, stuff. But here's Porsha. But now all the men are looking at Porsha, and she brings you along, right? You're her plus one. Now Porsha is getting into these spaces, right? And it's in a different crowd. And Shamia is right there the whole time. And now Shamia's gotten married, been married 10 years, had a baby. Sister had a baby. Porsha trying to do all these things, going to marry an African, having a baby after Lauren had a baby. It's almost like she doesn't know what to do until somebody else does it. You understand what I'm saying? And then because you live in a different kind of life that she did, Porsha says in this episode that she planned to retire at 40. And I guess her retirement was in the form of marriage and it didn't work out for her, she says. You thought you was going to marry a scammer and retire? But how did you plan on retire and quit your jobs? Like she literally planned on getting married and that was her form of retirement. Girl, anyways. Um at the Go Naked corporate offices, what you call it? Yeah, Go Naked corporate offices, girl. Porsha says she planned to retire at 40. She says Cinderella needs to wake up. I don't think she's woke. I don't think she's woken up. I don't think Sleeping Beauty has woken up. She said the soft life is over. So she has Pampered by Porsha, with which are sheets. What's the thread counts on these sheets, child? Thread count 1,800. Somebody says it feels like 1,800 thread count. Let's see, it's on Amazon. Let's go real quick and see real quick. $58, Pampered by Porsha, and she's selling microfiber sheets. She got 94 reviews, 4.3 out of 5. Customers find the sheet set to be great quality, very soft. However, the customers note that the sheets are thin. Quality softness, but not thickness. Disappointed. I was so excited to get the sheets after reading the reviews. Once received, I was sadly disappointed. The quality of the sheets are nothing close to 1,800 thread count. The sheets are thin and poorly stitched. The best sheets. I was pleasantly surprised about these sheets. I have UGG sheets and thought they were good, but Pampered by Porsha has them beat by a long shot. Make sure you wash them first so you won't lose any rest. I plan to buy these sheets in several colors. This was in 2023. Yeah, so the people, do any of y'all have Pampered by Porsha? I don't know if I would buy sheets. I'm good with my bamboo sheets, thanks. She's trying to build a $1 billion business. She wants to be honest and authentic in her lifestyle brand. Has Drew reached out? Her and Dennis and their boundaries. She doesn't need to be filming with him. She likens her to single white female. And they said Drew wants to do a shoot with Dennis or something like that. And I don't know. I don't know. Go Naked corporate. I don't know. Drew and Ralph. She said they're better co-parents than married co-parent than they were married. They're just taking one step at a time. Ralph has a confessional with no shirt on. He said he doesn't care about 50-50. He really just wants to be in his kid's life. He says, with the producer asked Ralph, why doesn't he have on a shirt? I really hate that these men have more visibility because of their wives. That really chaps my hide. I really don't like it. I don't know where my mirror is. I feel like I have something in my eye. I thought I had my mirror right here. Anyways, let me get through this thing. Okay, the kids bringing up internet stuff. Um, he says his daughter brought him an article of, like, breaking down everything between Drew. I don't know why y'all hide stuff from kids. I always say arm your children with the age appropriate truth, because if I find, like me, I just have the personality and there are millions of kids out there. I feel like one thing that you should maintain with your child is a level of trust. And part of that is telling them the truth. And you don't have to tell them the full blown truth. You can tell them the age appropriate truth. Mommy and daddy are not, we no longer match, and we're not getting along. And I want you to be raised in a home where you see me happy and you see your daddy happy. And in order to do that, mommy and daddy can't live together, right? Daddy will be happy living in the basement. Mommy will be happy living up here. We want to be happy parents for you. And in order to do that, him and I cannot be in partnership. It's age appropriate for little children like that. They will understand. Are you guys getting a divorce? Possibly. Yes. That's where we're going to lead to. That's it. Because we want to make sure that we are happy parents for y'all. That's more important to us than being in a relationship with each other, is you being raised with happy parents. That's you could tell a 7-year-old that. You can tell a 15-year-old that. You can tell a 6-year-old that. An 8-year-old that. That's age appropriate. They should not find shit about you that's going on in their fucking house on the fucking internet. That's not fair. It's not fair to the children. And if I was the child, I would no longer trust you as my parent, because I found this shit on the internet. This shit is going on in my house. I'm a child in this house, and I had to find out some shit about y'all on the internet. I don't trust you. Neither one of you. Kenya Moore Hair Spa. We're at Kenya Moore Hair Spa. Have anybody been to Kenya Moore's Hair Spa? What kind of reviews is that getting? Let's go see real quick. Kenya Moore Hair Spa. Ooh. Reviews. Says Kenya Moore's Hair Spa located at 5211 Peachtree Boulevard in Chamblee, Georgia, receives generally positive reviews, with customers praising the luxurious spa experience and the quality of her hair care line. This is an AI overview. It says many reviewers highlight the luxurious upscale treatment and the service they receive. Customers express their appreciation for Kenya Moore's hair care line, and some stating they have been fans for years. Some reviews specifically mention how beautiful and well designed the spa is. Several reviewers expressed their intention to return to the spa for future appointments. She only has 2 reviews on Yelp. 3 stars they're giving. I wouldn't trust a review from that mongrel wild boar. That's the first 3 videos come up. 3 videos, March 14th, March 12th, and May 28th, from Gary Coleman, talking about Kenya Moore's Hair Spa. Here's another one from October 2024, June 2024, August 2024, all from the same unfortunate looking bitch. My God, today. Anyways, Kelly meets her there. Kelly looked cute with her 2 different color shoes. She really looks cute. Kelly and Kenya sit down. Kenya asks Kelly, "Why do you have a bodyguard?" She says, "You know how you have a mark? I have a mark. And he's been threatening me." She said, "Do you have proof that he was threatening you?" She was like, "Yeah, girl, we were in court. He was held in contempt of court and he threatened to kill her in the courtroom. So I have a bodyguard." She was granted a restraining order. This was her husband, y'all. He told her he wants to close all the businesses. He really wants the businesses. He wants to strip her of making money. And if I was a child of that man, and you are taking active steps to make sure my mom doesn't make any money, nigga, fuck you too. When I tell you these niggas are diabolical, and that's why women end up on Snap. The same motherfucker you walk down the aisle to, the same frog you walk down the aisle to. Have you seen Kelly's husband? Frog. Frog. Ribbit. Ribbit. Yes. We had a business together and he wants the businesses. He said he would close all the businesses and that she would not have anything without him. She says in her confessional she really likes Kenya. "I have a really good experience with Kenya. I don't know what Brittany is experiencing, but hasn't been my experience with Kenya." Kenya starts sharing with her how she wants to do the right thing with her hair spa, how she spent $400,000, all of Brooklyn's college money is what she said. She's like, "And I spent that money and I wanted to work. I really wanted to work." And I think a lot of people who start businesses feel like Kenya and can probably relate to taking all of your savings and putting it into something that means a lot to you, that you're passionate about, and hoping that it works. hoping that it works. Kenya just needs to hire the right people to manage, have the right team. Her hair care is doing great. Now you have this hair spa. So it's really nice. It really looks nice. She was showing, did you see Kenya's outfit she had on? I don't even know who the designer was, but she looked cute, very business. There she gave her a tour of the spa and everything like that. And she started crying. And it does take a lot. It's gonna take a lot of hard work. And she says, no, you got this. You're gonna manifest it. You got this. We're gonna send Brooklyn to college. Don't worry about it. Brooklyn's gonna go to college. Trust. And they gave each other hugs, and we'll see how that turns out. I don't know. Kelly seemed to be on Brioche's side with this whole back and forth with Kenya. She was still hanging around with her when they got into the little disagreement and they were leaving. She stayed and she lagged back with her, like she was hanging out with her. So I don't know the relationship between Kenya and Kelly to date. I don't know what their relationship is like. And it really sucks that Kenya doesn't even have interviews. You have a scene showing something happening to her and you don't give her the opportunity to actually talk about it. I think that was whack. But again, the people at Truly Original, it's very clear and evident they do not like Kenya Moore. They literally produce the show. Whoever is in production, it's somebody there. I don't know if it's a woman. I don't know if it's a man. Somebody over there do not like Kenya fucking Moore, baby. They do not like her ass. And it's evident. And that's what I said last night. It's a better step for Kenya to say, I'm not going to work with this production anymore. I don't want to ruin my relationship with NBC and Bravo, but I'm not going to work with Truly Original because somebody over there, they don't see it for her. Because after she brought that picture, they would stop production on her, but they didn't stop. But what happened before that, she should have been pulled. You just threatened another employee with a firearm. I don't think in any situation. And like I said on Instagram, I have watched The Real Housewives since Orange County, season 1, episode 1. I have watched every single franchise except for Dallas and DC. I have never heard any Real Housewife threaten another housewife with a firearm. Not once, but twice.
I mean, I still got my pistol,
So after you threaten me with a firearm and I bring a picture of you showing how well you provide dick gobbling and swallowing services, don't say anything. You threatened me with a firearm, not once, but twice. And I sat there and heard you, and everybody heard you. Not one person said anything. Not even her producer pulled her to the side and said, yo, what are you talking about? You can't threaten her with a gun. I got my pistol. So to me, whether you want to call it RP, whatever you want to call it, the only rule in war is victory. That's the only rule. So, bitch, if I bring a poster board with you having a dick shoved down your throat, then so be it, bitch. You threatened me with a firearm. So, since nobody else is going to do anything, I'm going to take it to hell on this hoe. And I'm going to call out her insurance fraud business. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you your big fucking one. The only thing where Kenya fucked up is doing it at her own event. That's the only thing that I have a problem with. After hearing what I heard and seeing what I saw and knowing that it was still edited, we don't know what other shit she said, but knowing what she know, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if she found it on the internet. I don't care who gave it to her. I don't care. You threaten me with a firearm, bitch, I'm coming for your whole fucking family, ho. I'm coming for everybody. And I'm going to show the world. And I'm going to put it on a grand stage. You want to threaten me on national TV? I'm going to show everybody on national TV that Brielle Eady loves to suck dick. And here it is. Here's the picture to prove it. She got a back page. You want that? Do you want the link to her back page? Girl, I promise you, you're going to get it. You are going to get it. Drew meets in the studio with Dennis. She said it's a great partnership. It's not affecting me. It's not affecting Dennis. You said it was okay Jenna says she was in Nigeria eating fufu, so I don't really care what Porsha. No, nobody is moving with Porsha in mind. Nobody's managing their life thinking about Porsha. We're just gonna do what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this song, and for the fact that everybody loves this album, so many people love this album. You know, I'm not an R&B girl. I could only listen for a little while. Like, I don't know. It doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't. Some songs I got to listen to it again. I tried to listen to the car. I was listening to. Everybody kept saying about something slide, Chicago slide. I was like, girl, what? Maybe I need to hear this in a different setting. This is not it. That the other song I like, and it's probably because it has a Looney's sample, and that was her and Ralph. It wasn't her and Dennis that produced that song. I got 5 on it. I really like that song. I like her chorus. It's like another guy rapping, but I like the chorus. But the songs sound good. Would have heard. It's not. I'm just not an R&B girl. It doesn't sound bad. It just doesn't. It doesn't. It's, you know, the frequency. It doesn't work with me. It just doesn't work with me. I didn't like it. I don't like a lot of love songs. I don't know. It's just me. I do like some love songs, but I don't know. I'm not an R&B girl that much. But everybody loves it. So Porsha ain't stopping nothing. Porsha ain't moving nothing. Porsha doesn't have any control over anybody but her and her pussy. And that's it. That's it. That's all she got control over. That's it. Porsha is on FaceTime with Shamia. She says she's going to apologize to Angela. And then Porsha says she needs to do a one-on-one with Drew. So they get to Angela's event. Kenya shows up out of theme. You know, I don't like when the girls show up out of theme, especially that it said it right on the front, black chic attire. But then knowing what I have been able to observe from Kenya Moore, the only time I've ever seen Kenya Moore in black is the last time they had that Real Housewives shoot and everybody had on black and they looked like the coven. When I tell you that's the best image, that was the best cast shot ever with Eva sitting down. They looked so good. Oh my God. Everybody in that picture looked good. Everybody. That was the last time I seen Kenya Moore in black. Kenya Moore said she doesn't own any black. She said she didn't see it. The girl you saw, just like Dorit didn't see caftans, and they said caftans and caviar going across the top. You did that on purpose. You knew it would start some shit, but I don't think she owns very much black clothing. I just always see Kenya Moore in colors. Always. It's always colors with her. Yellow, green, red. Yellow is her color. She looks like a fucking sunflower every single time. Yellow, green, that emerald green. And it's because it complements her complexion. She just looks beautiful in color. So being in black wouldn't have done anything. So she didn't come in black. Okay, fine. We knew that would get the people started. It was intentional, just like Dorit. That's what I said. Kenya hugs everybody. She hugs Brittany and they both pat each other on the back. And then she says, Kenya, that was a pat. That's a hug without getting makeup on you. She says, well, here we go, Kenya. She says, I've been trying to be nice. You giving me a pat and not a hug says everything.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
Really? Shamia brings a tree branch stuck in olive oil instead of an olive branch from an olive tree. Who did that? Somebody brought an olive branch before because they want to extend you an olive branch, but she stuck a tree branch in a bottle of olive oil. And then when she gave it to Angela goes, oh, great. My husband cooks with this all the time. She was like, no, I don't want him to cook with it. Like she literally stuck a branch in a bottle of olive oil. So she's extending an olive branch. I guess she was trying to be funny, but it didn't land for me. Shamia is very corny to me. Sorry. She's very corny. She get Marlon Wayans. Every time I just think about Marlon Wayans, you go one step too far with the joke and it just doesn't make sense and it just gets corny. She says, I'm sincerely sorry for attacking your physical appearance. That's not like me and I would like to start over. So she's like, cool, we're going to start all over. Shamia looked cute. Porsha looked cute. Her outfit was cute. Kelly's little outfit was cute. She had her entire ass out. Her little outfit was cute. Brianna, I think she just had a little dress, like a little black dress on. She didn't really have anything. It wasn't really like cute or fashionable. And I can't remember what Drew had on. So they all sit at the table. They start talking about the Balmain party and how Drew's makeup artist came and didn't buy anything. So then Kenya, as she does, keeps the party going. Kenya asked, did everybody buy something? And then Kelly looked at Drew and was like, you didn't buy anything. She said, no, that's not true. She said, I bought a blazer for my son. Let me show you. So she shows her, I guess she shows her a text message. I guess I don't know what the conversation was, but as Kelly is looking at the text message, you hear an audio like of a ping, like a text message came through, and she goes, oh, I see Dennis is texting you. Everybody's like, what? She was like, girl, that is a group text, a group chat. You can literally see that's a group chat. Kelly says, clearly Drew is not used to being in rooms where you support a cause. Do better. Drew asks Kenya about the hair spa. She invites everyone to a soft opening, and that was pretty much it. Shamia shares her song. As she starts to play the song on the audio on her phone, everybody is listening. And as she starts playing it, Porsha goes, that's not her, that's Drew. And she was like, no, that's me. You got to listen. So she's playing it. And then she was like, Porsha was like, unless she was like, don't tell me, I know your voice, girl. We've been singing, because Shamia says we've been singing together since we were little. And Portia's like, I don't have an album, just a flatlined song. But yeah, song named Flatlined. And it did exactly what it was named after. It fell flat. It was on life support. Girl. So Shamia has her phone out. She's playing it like this. And then Porsha goes, are my ears misleading me? She was like, girl, you know that's me. She acted like she didn't know who that was. Everybody is clapping, and Portia's sitting there like that. She was like, girl, don't you think I don't know your voice? I know your voice. She said that Drew says she knows that's not one of my songs. I don't know why she would think that was me. She said it sounded like Drew. She was like, no, it wasn't. And just a glimpse into that, like stuff like that, you can't make up. Like, did you respond like that intentionally? Or are you literally saying like, that doesn't sound like her. I know your voice. My ears must be misleading me. That's not you. That's Drew. You're a hater. And it's sad to watch it, but I'm interested in seeing. So they play a questions game, and they ask Shamia, what did you do for your Rolls Royce? She starts twerking or whatever, acting like she's sucking dick. Angela, what's the secret that you don't want the group to know? Have you ever had a threesome? She said, no, I don't bring anyone into my bed. Porsha then speaks up. Had Kenya done this back in the day, y'all would be having a fit. Porsha said, oh, I did hear your husband was spicy. Girl, what the fuck did you hear about my husband? I heard something about Charles. They were like, oh, Porsha, you got some tea? She was like, no, I'll wait. No, what did you hear about my husband? No, she's like, no, let's just go to the next question. Angela, in her interview, says Porsha doesn't even want to talk about her own marriage. Don't even say his name, you stupid bitch. The producer said, what'd you say? She was like, nothing. Nothing. You know, y'all would freak out if who does that? Like, I'm just like, girl, watch your husbands around Porsha, baby. She's proven herself. That's why people need to ask, like, girl, who are you? Because if Kelly wants to ask you what's happening between you and Simon, like, what's up with that? What happened with that? And then at this little event, you talking about, you know, another woman's husband is spicy, and I've heard stuff about your husband, but never mind, go on to the next. No woman, I don't care who it is gonna be like, girl, what did you hear? They're not gonna want to know. What did you hear about my husband? He's spicy. You've heard something about my husband. Never mind. Let's go to the next one. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You ain't heard shit about my husband. But you might have. And why would you say that? I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. They asked Kenya what color panties she has on. She shows her panties. Porsha said, Kenya, you have the biggest vagina I ever seen. You gonna grab all our food with your coochie. Kenya says, somebody asked Kenya another question. Why are you so concerned with happily married women? Kenya says, it's a habit. And then Kelly goes, is it? She was like, girl, no, I'm just being silly. Brisket asked Kenya, can you speak to Brittany kindly and not with an attitude? And she said, yes, I can speak to everyone kindly without an attitude. I think I have. She said, but we're talking about here.
But we're talking about me. We're talking about me. That's who we're talking about. I have the floor. I have the floor. We're talking about me.
Kenya says, oh, okay. Like Kenya thought like, okay, girl, you trying to have a moment? Okay, let me let you have your moment. She was like, have your moment. She was like, yeah, this is a big moment for you. Kenya says, I am a moment, honey. She's like, I could speak to everyone kindly, but I'm not going to play these childish games. Peasants cannot come for the queen. I'm kind of mad that Kenya stumbled over that. Oh, I was mad. I was like, Kenya, why did you stumble? Like she kind of paused over that. And I don't think she really wanted to say it because I really don't think Kenya was prepared for Brittany to act like that. I really don't think that she was. So I don't even know if she was prepared, but bitch, she stumbled over that. Peasants don't come for the queen. Everybody was like, what? She was like, I didn't send for her. You just like Tanisha talking about non-motherfucking factor. You fan groupie pick me bitches. I'm tired of y'all coming on these shows. I know it's hard not to find a fan of the show, but these fanatics that come on the show intentionally trying to fuck with people, y'all got to do better than that down to the Real Housewives. Because this is dumb. I didn't send for you. Kenya said, thank you for using one of my catchphrases, bitch. Are you a fan? Like, what's the tea? You obviously are a fan. You a fan, you a fan, you a fan. So then she said, peasants can't come for the queen. She said, I didn't send for her. She said, thank you for using one of my catchphrases. She was like, girl, get the fuck out of here. That's what Brielle was saying. Get the fuck out of here. Bitch thinks everybody is doing the most. And everybody's like, where is this energy? She's overreacting. Slow down a bit. It's not that deep. Let's stop before you say something you don't mean. Everybody thought she was doing the most.
Let me go call my husband that cares about me. Let me go call my husband.
Porsha tells Kenya she's being a little extra with it. Kenya and Porsha walk off. And as they walk off, they're like kind of walking behind the group already where Brisket and Kelly are there. And Shamia was standing right there. And she goes, let me turn around so I can be aware of my surroundings. Let me move over here. We're not done. We're catching this moment. It's a vibe. She was like, let me find my husband first. I still got my pistol. I didn't understand what was Kelly doing with her light. She had her phone up and she had the light. I don't know what she was doing. She goes, somebody find my husband. Where you at, baby? Sounding just like Mia Thornton. Where you at, baby? Where you at? Remember on the season where Candace threw a piece of romaine lettuce at Mia and everybody thought she threw a bale of hay the way y'all was acting down there? And she said, where's my husband at? Here comes your whore. Did she say something like that? Where's my pimp at? She sounded the same. Close your eyes and listen to Brisket. She sounds just like Mia. Close her. She sounds just like Mia. Everybody's outside with them. They're by Porsha's car. Kenya's car hasn't pulled up yet. What's her name is still talking. Ditzy ass. I don't play them games. Play that shit in front of the cameras. Bitch, we are in front of the cameras. Did you forget, you stupid ass? Don't play with me. I got whips and pistols. Okay, so she mentioned a gun again. How many times does somebody have to mention a gun for anybody to move into action in the South, in Georgia? Like, I don't understand what are y'all doing? Anyways, you're going to be respectful. You're going to learn today. Today's the day you're going to learn. Her husband tells her, you're doing too fucking much right now. These bitches, I don't play this game. Porsha asked Kenya, are you going to ride with us? Because Kenya is standing outside of Porsha's car. I don't know if she was recording her, but she was in her phone like this. And then she goes, yeah, I'm going to ride with you. I'll ride with you. So she hops in the back of Porsha's car. And what's her name keeps saying, oh, she's the type of people that wants to poke. She's being dismissive and manipulative. Girl, you trying to find anything to stick. You mad because she dismissed you. That's what you really mad about. You feel like you're owed or you're entitled to some type of greeting from Kenya Moore. Crazy. In the car, Kenya says she's talking about guns for real. Porsha says, she said a gun? She said, yeah, she was talking about a gun. I still got my pistol on me. She says, she's a problem. She has to go for real. She got a little too hyped, so I'm going to just go this way. Kenya said, please let her do something to me so she can go. She said, don't worry about it. Charles Oakley is here. She's like, I'm not going anywhere near Charles Oakley. I don't want any problems with Angela. And that was the end of the episode. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think it's okay do you think they're not even in battle. Like, girl, it's like a one-sided battle. You making up stuff that don't make sense. You have an issue where there is none. Why are you creating an issue with Kenya Moore? Oh, because you actually like Kenya Moore. You a fan. You a fan. Does nobody else's husband, like you throwing up, let me go find my husband who cares about me. You throwing a shot at everybody because don't nobody here have husbands that care about them. Drew don't have a husband that care about her. Porsha don't have a husband that care about her. Kenya don't have a husband that care about her. Kelly don't have a husband that care about her. The jury is still out on Charles Oakley because apparently he likes to fuck bitches with no condom while he's in a committed relationship. So I don't know what the fuck is going on there. Because that to me don't look like love to me. And Shamia. And I don't know what kind of love where a man is trying to put everybody's life at risk just so he can have a baby boy. I don't know how much love is there. But bitch, you throwing a shot at everybody. Let me go find a husband that cares about me. That little, he looks like a little scoundrel on a cartoon. What do you want, boss? I got it, boss. Boss, what do you want, boss? Boss, I got it, boss. We're not going to let anybody talk to our boss like that. That's what he's giving. That is literally what that nigga gives. But even his crooked mouth ass told her, girl, you doing the most. Because you're making up something that don't make sense. And then you get to stay after threatening somebody with a pistol. Like I said, I literally hope the ratings go in the gutter after Kenya leaves. I want to see a significant drop in ratings when Kenya leaves. Because next week might be the season high of viewership. And then the week after that, I want to see it go below the first episode ratings. The second episode ratings were lower than the first episode's ratings. I want them to go in the gutter because I want it to be a failed production because the producers, not Bravo, not NBC, I'm talking about the production, truly original. I want to see that production. I do. I want to see it go in the gutter. I want to see the ratings drop. I want the ratings to drop so much that Bravo and NBC severs the relationship with Truly Original because they've done so poorly with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let them produce other shows, but wherever Kenya Moore is, Truly Original should not be the producers because they don't like her, and it's very clear. So threaten a woman with a gun twice. She come back with a picture of you showing how well you gobble and swallow the whole 9.5 on that black ass. That's where we are. You have started the war. You mention a gun, I'm bringing a bazooka, bitch. I'm going to bring a big black cock. That's what I'm going to bring. And I'm going to show how you like to shove them down your throat. I don't know how the fuck you breathe with so many cocks in your mouth, the way them cocks was sliding in and out of your mouth. Brisket Eady. Yes. In the gutter. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.
I mean, I still got my pistol, so.